Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this Pick a Card reading. So, today we have a very new topic. We're going to be looking into your home and your environment and sort of where in the world would you be most suited to living. This is going to be sort of looking more into things like climate and the kind of nature or the kind of environment that you may feel that you are needing at this time in your life, or it might just be who you are in general. You're just wired for a certain way of life. So I'm going to kind of look more at lifestyle rather than actual locations. Like I'm not going to talk about cities or countries so much as describe what it might feel like to live there, or what this environment would do for you, okay? So for those of you who are maybe looking to move house or are having more, having a future where you probably will move a few times, I feel like this reading will be especially for you about where is spirit guiding you to live next, okay? So I feel like there are specific times in our life where we might be guided to certain places or certain environments, and there are also ways in which we are wired that is just inherently who we are. So I'm going to get messages about this. I haven't actually done the reading yet, but I got like a really clear vision for this reading. I kind of can see each group. So yeah, today we actually have 6 groups. I wanted to make it more in-depth and varied. So yeah, we have 6 different cards to choose from. You can definitely choose more than one if you feel called to. Group number 1 is enthusiasm. Group number 2, we have enterprise. Group number 3, speculation. Group number 4, innovation. Group number 5, empathy. And group number 6 is health. So yeah, I'm really excited for this reading. Go ahead and choose which group or groups you feel drawn to. I'll list the timestamps down below and then I will see you for your reading. Group number 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose Sun in Sagittarius in the 9th house with enthusiasm. So where are you being called to live next? Immediately, I feel for your group, you are being drawn to a beach, okay? I feel like the perfect location for you would be some kind of a beach, some kind of a cove or a coastal area, or an island or a peninsula as well. I'm seeing something about the ocean being really, really important. Yeah, if you could move to an island, some of you may be thinking about moving to an island. I know this is specific, but that would actually really suit your energy field, I feel like long term. I feel like the beach energy for you, this is something that you would really be able to work with for your whole life. I feel like this would really suit you, especially somewhere that has also sun. Like I feel like you need summer or you need sunshine. I feel like even a tropical environment for this group would actually suit you really well. Yeah, I feel like you actually would thrive more in a warm environment, a tropical environment, somewhere close to the beach or to a peninsula. You know, they say that peninsulas and islands are really powerful energy sites, like almost portals, sites on the earth, because they have the ocean all around the land. And when the different elements meet together in nature, it creates a really powerful, potent energy. So I'm seeing here the mix of the water with the earth, like where the water meets the earth. That's where you need to be, okay? Where the ocean meets the earth. Or you need to be at least in like some kind of a distance where you can go to the beach. And I feel that this beach energy is going to completely rewire your energy system. Like you're going to feel so relaxed and you're going to feel way more energized, okay? I feel like you are really craving the earth's energy, like the actual energy grid of the earth. And I feel like the beach for you, for some reason, is just the perfect conductor of that energy. Like it might be the salt water in the ocean, or just maybe you always are bare feet on the sand. But the energy for you is so grounding. I'm feeling like swimming in the ocean. The ocean itself, the consciousness of the ocean itself is wanting to work with you. Yeah, you have a powerful energy. You might also be into some kind of like ocean sports, like surfing or something like this. And then, of course, that's the perfect lifestyle, because I just see something about spirit is almost saying the ocean wants you to come in every day, or at least many times a year, As often as you can, I feel like, to bathe in ocean water, because there's something about it that truly revitalizes you at a deeply soul and spiritual level, as well as at a physical level. Because this enthusiasm energy, that's the card that you chose, it really is also about vital life force, like having the energy and the life force you want to be able to live life and do the things that you desire to be doing. Yeah, I feel like something about relocating to the beach, or if you're already there, this is the way you're designed. And it feels like it's like you almost designed your life in a way to make sure you are in tune or in harmony with nature. Like this is the kind of energy, say, of a surfer who like needs the ocean to kind of regulate in a way. I feel like you have that energy too, but at a very deeply spiritual level. of course, it is physiological as well and physical. Like all of it's connected. We aren't just like these separate bodies. But there's something, very deeply spiritual for you about the ocean waters and where the ocean meets the earth, where the ocean meets the land, like a cove or, some kind of a safe, even like a rock pool or something. Yeah, I'm feeling like getting your skin touching the sand and like even just bare feet in the ocean, at the edge of the ocean. Yeah, really, really, really powerful for you. So again, you chose the sun card, right? It's the sun in Sagittarius in the ninth house. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck as well. And I just feel like there's, this sunshine energy that is wanting to be this medicine for you in your life. I feel like you might have already been intuiting this, like, oh, I really crave the sunshine, or I really crave the beach or swimming or surfing if you already are doing these things. But there's something here about, you're meant to really immerse yourself in the sun codes, okay? You need sun codes, and I'm also hearing salt codes. So there's something about the salt. It's also the conductivity of electricity as well in the body. Like there's something about your electrical configuration where you are bare feet on the earth, like when you are, most people are bare feet on the beach, right? Like sometimes you aren't, but most of the time people go bare feet. And there's something about the way that brings electricity all through your body. It's like this vital life force changes you. Yeah, and I'm seeing something about the salt water does this as well, like immersing yourself. I'm seeing as well to dip your crown underwater, There's something really important about getting your head underwater and your crown, like immersing yourself all the way under, completely rejuvenating. So I feel like a lot of you, this is how you are designed. This is just who you are. I feel like you always be a beachy kind of person, or you always need the beach at some level. Maybe if you were to choose your favorite holiday, you would choose the beach or something like this. But I feel like many, many of you are actually designed to live at the beach, and this is what you're meant to do. Yeah, to check in with the ocean every day as well, to watch the weather patterns as they come and go over the ocean is really, really calming and grounding for you. And to notice, sometimes the ocean is still, sometimes the ocean is choppy and wavy. And there's different weather systems that come and go in our lives, and we have different cycles and seasons. You might like to watch the summer turn to the winter, or the wet season turn to the dry season in the tropics. There's something about watching the seasons shift. It's very, very grounding for you. And for some reason, doing that and watching that take place over the ocean or in the beach is, even better. So you might already have been relocated to the beach, or you might already find yourself living near the beach because this energy feels very strong in your energy field, I have to say. Or you might find that you visit the beach or something like this. But beaches, okay? I really feel like beaches, peninsulas, coves, islands, and somewhere coastal. Like even if you're not right near the beach, if you are, close enough that you can get to this medicine for yourself, then I feel like, that's enough, that you just need some kind of access, because I feel like it's almost like a lifeline. Yeah, and I feel like, that the beach for you, at least at this phase in your life, because you might find that you change, but for the majority of you listening to this, I feel like beach is just you. You are beach. Beach is you. It's going to be with you forever. This is how you're wired, in a way, coded. But for some of you, this might be a phase, and you might be finding, that other nature sites aren't doing it for you as much at the moment. And it's because you need the beach. Okay, there's something about that electrical energy within the salt water, there's something about it. You need this, okay? So I feel like spirit, the angels, guardians, like they can help you as well. For anyone who's feeling like, oh, I don't know if this is available to me, trust. Like this energy is very strong. The way that you have like designed almost your avatar, we all are designed differently. And that's literally the idea behind this reading, is that all of us will thrive in different places for different reasons at different times in our life, right? And sometimes we are shifting or changing, or we don't know, like, where am I? And I just feel like there's something here where the beach maybe wasn't always a part of your life. Like this is just for some of you, okay? We'll resonate for everyone, but for some of you, the beach maybe wasn't always like your thing. Or the ocean or something, but now maybe it's starting to come into your awareness, or this reading starting to wake you up to this, because I'm telling you, the beach is your medicine, at least right now. And you might find other nature sites just don't do it for you. You might be going hiking, or you might be going to a lake or something, and you're like, you know what? I don't know, it's just not the same. And it's because there's some specific medicine that you are there to receive. I'm also seeing the stars at night at the beach, okay? Something about, going to the beach side and looking up at the stars. You might also see like alien activity, UFOs sort of in the sky, like shooting stars or anything really. There's all kinds of things you can see if you look up. So consider that. I'm seeing something about the stars activating, and maybe also campfires on the beach. That's really common around where I live, like having little fires at the beach at sunset, and it's very, very grounding. I'm seeing this kind of bringing all the elements together as well, keeping that in mind. Like if you have a fire on the beach, that's sort of all of the elements right there, because you have the air circulating around you, that fresh air. And then you have the ocean, the water, the sand, the earth, and then the fire as well. And then you are the spirit. So yeah, there's something very beautiful here about the elements. I feel like you're going to find it very easy to kind of work with the different elements at the beach for some reason. Okay, you're going to feel very balanced. You're going to feel like, oh, all of my needs are met. All of these elements in my life feel like they're in balance really naturally, really harmoniously without you really having to try. Like it's sort of like, imagine the routine of going for a walk every morning at the beach, or going for a swim every sunset at the beach, or watching the sunset or whatever with your bare feet in the sand. There's something about some kind of a ritual as well, and a routine. When you have access to the beach, it's going to give you more of a sense of a ritual, a routine. And this again, the core of this is that it's going to like underpin your energy levels. Like this routine is going to basically give you a foundation to have really amazing energy levels. You're going to have way more energy, enthusiasm, action, activity for life, passion, vital life force energy to take action. Okay, with the Sagittarius energy as well, some of you, this may be something you need to travel for, okay? Maybe you need to, first of all, I don't know, book a holiday to the beach or to the coast or something, because Sagittarius can talk about travel, or even overseas travel, or even long distance travel. You might be like listening to this reading and thinking, oh my gosh, like I live the furthest from the beach that I even could live. I'm thinking, what on earth am I going to do? But there's something here about even just visiting the beach right now. Maybe you just need to visit, but I'm feeling like once you visit, you'll be like, I don't want to leave. This is my home. This is my home now. I want to move here. If you ever go like on a holiday and then you want to move to the place you're born, I'm feeling like that would happen in this case. So yeah, there's something here about the enthusiasm you're going to feel for this beach lifestyle, where you're going to be like, what? I don't want to let this go. I don't want to let this go. So yeah, beach, check it out. Think about it. Spirit's saying pray to Spirit. Spirit will help you to have the ability to make this happen. And it can happen way easier than you think, okay? I feel like there are so many more ways that your dreams can come true that you might even realize right now. There's so many more pathways that can get you to that beach lifestyle, that perfect beach sort of energy. Yeah, so much easier than you realize. All right, group one, that is your reading. I do hope you enjoyed it. I'm sending you so much love and light. And if you would like to check out more of my work, I'll link my store down below. You can browse. I have energy healings, light language healings that will support you on your path. I also would recommend, if you resonate with this reading, my Sacred Space Energy Clearing. It's perfect for clearing the energy in your home, especially if you move home or if you're traveling. I love to use it every new hotel room or Airbnb that I stay in if I travel. Or certainly I'll use it almost daily if I'm going through something in the home where I'm feeling like I need to clear extra energy. So yeah, it's a really supportive tape. I'll link it down below. And I'm just sending you so much love and light, okay? Bye. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Enterprise card with Jupiter in Aries in the first house. Really, really interesting. Okay, so the first energy that I feel for your group is the desert, okay? I feel the desert. I feel like that orange sand, that orange dirt, especially, in Australia, it's like bright orange, like red. And I'm seeing those sort of like rocks. I'm seeing ancient rocks, ancient kind of like configurations of like rocks that have this very spiritual energy. I'm also seeing, the desert climate and living somewhere that's far out where there's not as many inhabitants. Like with the first house and the Aries energy, you might want to live on your own, or you might want to live, with other people, but in a more rural location. Okay, I'm feeling like there's something about the desert energy when you tune in. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet. It's so still. There's not so much like activity out in the desert. There's not as much life, because there's things sort of slow down. There's more activity at night, for example. There's a lot of things that are nocturnal. There's sort of a lot of stillness. So I'm seeing, there's something here about the desert. It would actually really suit you. You might want to look up locations that have desert in that same state or around that area, or you might want to actually move fully to the desert or to some kind of a rural location. I just feel like you would love it. I feel like it would be extremely creatively inspiring for you and activating. I'm also seeing the night sky, like I said, nocturnal. You might find that you have almost a phase of your life where you feel nocturnal while you are living in the desert, because there's something about Spirit saying you're meant to attune to the stars. I know it's not ideal for our physical health and like our endocrine system and things like this, but sometimes it happens, you guys. And I'm just seeing that I feel like you might have this feel really drawn to the nighttime. You might feel really drawn to the stars and almost feel like you're nocturnal, because during the desert it can get really hot during the day. So, you tend to not go out during the day, but then maybe at night you feel like your energy comes back to you and you're kind of having this creative buzz. For some of you who are artists, you might want to consider artist in residency in the desert, okay? or do your own version of it and try to work remotely for a while. And I don't know, something like this, like even just for a short trip, I feel like the desert would just be so creatively inspiring for you. There's going to be some kind of like creative project that wants to come out of this. There could also be money with Jupiter and enterprise. Like you could be meant to be creating something. I feel like a very creative, like a creative rebirth energy with this. Like you go into the desert to find yourself. You know how there's also those spiritual traditions where you go into the desert for several days and you come back and sort of are reborn. There's something here about, some kind of a pilgrimage or some kind of an initiation or some kind of a spiritual quest where you may feel you need to go into some kind of a space that is solitary, like a solitude. You might need to go out alone into some kind of an adventure or some kind of a home. You might need to move out on your own. Some of you who maybe have been questioning, should I live alone? I would say yes. I think you would love living alone. I mean, living alone, maybe you could have a pet or some animals or something, but I really feel like living alone, especially maybe at this phase in your life, I feel like it would bring you a lot of financial abundance and stability, and it would give you this laser focus on your creative arts and whatever it is that you're creatively kind of expressing yourself through in this life. I feel like you would just take off with that. Like it would just have this abundance. There would be so much fertility in your creative life. Yeah, so there's something here about solitude as well as the quiet and the stillness and the nighttime energy of the desert. There's something about the stars. In the desert, the stars are amazing. Tuning into this energy is making me want to go to the desert, you guys. I'm like, I want to book my trip right now because there's such a deeply spiritual energy there. Yeah, and I'm just seeing the stars at night, how much you can just see so much like density of stars. Like it's just incredible. And I'm seeing that those stars have specific light codes that are going to come down and activate you, okay? Yeah, this is really interesting. This was the intention for this reading, is like, where in the world would you best be suited to living at this time? And I just feel like there's something about the stars that you can receive the codes from in the desert specifically, okay? So like I said, even if it's just a short trip, you would receive codes that would shift maybe your financial situation and your artistic endeavors. It would activate a new pathway for you artistically or creatively or something. Yeah, there's a lot of activation energy coming through, a lot of activation. And with Jupiter, a lot of good luck as well. I feel like as well, if any of you have been concerned, like, should I really move out on my own? Is it really safe or something like this? I feel like that there's actually a lot of good luck for you moving out on your own. You might actually find that you're moving into a phase in your life where you really would prefer to be on your own for a while. Obviously, this won't necessarily resonate for everyone because we're all at different phases in life. But if that is available to you, I feel like that would work really well. If it's not available to you, I feel like just taking some more time on your own independently, going on walks or times, you spent just in your own energy field, because you really need that right now. Yeah, but there's something about expansion occurring in your life. You might be also having more money coming in. Spirit saying, just as an aside message for this group, I'm seeing more money coming to you with Jupiter, more blessings, more luck, more financial abundance, so that you can do things like book a trip to the desert or consider relocating to a place on your own or something like this. Yeah, there's something here about an added financial abundance sort of boosting you up into maybe a different place of living. Maybe that's something you need to know, is that your finances are going to be changing and that will help you to move homes or to move. Yeah. So or maybe you need to have some time like where you rent your own studio or something. Maybe this is something that you do. Or like I said, I felt this artist in residence energy where, artists, how they like might go to a specific place in nature and then they do a whole bunch of art about that place. It's like that. It's like you're going to have some kind of series, like you're going to write a music album in the desert, or you're going to have some kind of series of paintings or photographs or something, or channel some specific stuff, like channel some specific spiritual messages that you need to get from the stars, so you need to be somewhere you can get that light energy from the stars that won't be light polluted by the city and things like this. So it's the desert, but it's also the stars. And I'm also seeing the orange and the red energy of the earth. Like there's something about that color of the sand that you see in the desert that is also really activating for you. And also how hot it gets. Okay, there's something here about your life like heating up or drying out. Okay, yeah, maybe the desert actually could be really good for you because it has a drying energy. It can be very drying, and maybe it will help you to dry out in the emotional centers of the body, such as the sacral chakra or the grief. The grief can be held in the lungs as fluid. And I'm seeing there might be something going on emotionally for you where you might have a lot of emotions from the past that might, not be fully processed, which is extremely common on earth. And pretty much all of us have some level of this going on in our bodies. So I feel like you have some kind of emotions that maybe you've gone through a really tough time recently, and it's just been hard for you to fully process what you've been through, or you've gone through some grief or some loss that's just, obviously still really hard to process. I feel like the desert would be the perfect medicine for you because it would help dry it out. It helps suck that emotional energy out of you, but in a very effortless way where you're not really, like I said, you might find you feel a bit nocturnal, or you might find you sleep a lot during the day, which is really unlike you, or something like this. And then you feel really activated at night by the stars. But yeah, I'm just seeing an effortless sort of the nature itself will be effortlessly working on your body and on your energy field. So you're not having to really do that much. And I feel like you need that. You need that support. You need that extra kind of support from your environment at this time. And so, yeah, it might surprise you. You might be like, the desert, I never really considered. But I actually feel like it would be a really special spiritual pilgrimage or relocation. And like I said, it will help you very deeply emotionally to process and to release so that you can move forwards in life. If you feel stuck emotionally in life, I'm just seeing the desert, you guys. This is so interesting, but this is what I'm seeing because, like I said, it will dry out that fluid in the lungs, which is grief, or that emotional processing in the sacral chakra, which can be connected to all kinds of different emotions, really. So, yeah, I really feel like, yeah, the desert, see how it sits, think about it. Maybe you're already there. Maybe you already love the desert. Maybe you already know exactly that special energy that I'm talking about that only exists in the desert. But you might also see aliens. Okay, I'm feeling that as well. Like being out in the just seeing aliens just casually. I meant like more like, a spaceship like flying by up in the stars. I feel like you might see a lot of that kind of activity out there because there's something about as well. Final message is that the energy field in the desert feels very clear as I'm tuning in. And that's what spirit wants around you. Spirit wants the energy field around you to be very, very thin. No EMF, no other people's auras, like the density of overpopulation in cities and things like this. It's more like spirit wants the energy field to be very, very sparse around you, very, very clear so that things can come through, like downloads like lightning and activations can come through. And I do see you looking up at the stars, like spirit saying set up like a blanket and lie out there and, watch the stars and watch all the activity because I feel like you would see so much, you would see so many different things going on in the stars and in the sky that people think is impossible, that people think is not even, even happening, and you would witness it all. So yeah, there's something about getting out of the light pollution, the EMF pollution in the cities. You really need this. Like I said, consider it even just for a little time, like a little trip. If you can, consider moving out more rural or to, because there can be a lot cheaper places in the desert and things like this. I mean, it depends on where you are in the world, but there can be cheaper places when you're more rural and things like this. So it could be more available to you than you think. So keep it in mind. Anyway, so this is the end of your reading, everyone. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you'd like to check out more of my work, I'll link my store down below. I have energy healings, light language healings that could support you on your path. And I also would really recommend my sacred space light language healing. It's great for clearing your home. It's great for if you move home to kind of, realign your energy to your new home. And it can also help if you're traveling or moving around to clear the energy if you're staying in a hotel room or a hostel or something to just keep that energy all safe so you don't get any energetic attachments or anything if you're moving around a lot. Anyway, I'll link it down below. You can read more about it, see if it might be right for you. But it is one of my favorite tapes. I use it all the time. Anyway, I'm sending you guys so much love and light. I'll see you in another video soon, okay? Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose speculation with Jupiter in Cancer in the 4th house. Really interesting. So I feel like the next home that you live in will be your home. It'll be like your homely kind of home, your forever home. I feel like you're meant to find your forever home. Maybe that's something that you're still looking for. You're still looking for that place on earth that feels like forever, that feels like, oh, this is where I'm meant to be. Or if you have already found it was very significant for you to find this because, yeah, I feel like this is something that you are meant to have. Maybe not everyone has this, inside of them, this feeling of like a quest to look for their place that feels like their home, but I feel like you have that inside of you. So maybe you didn't always feel like where you were born was where you were meant to be, or you had to leave for some reason, or you chose to leave because you wanted to, or for work or whatever reason. I feel like there's been some kind of maybe disconnection from your hometown. Yeah, and I feel like you're still maybe searching for like, where am I meant to be? Where am I meant to be? It could even be some kind of stuff with family relationships that made you leave or something like this as well. Yeah, so there's something about you're trying to find your own sense of home, your own sense of family, your own sense of home. And I feel like that you're much closer to this. And I feel like for many of you, you're actually about to manifest that. You're about to manifest your place, okay? Your place in the world. All right, so the messages that I'm getting about the next home that you're meant to live in, or where you're meant to live, like where are you most suited to living, I'm feeling the forest. Okay, I'm feeling the forest, but I'm also feeling water elements within that forest. So you could be having a forest with a waterfall, okay, a forest with rainwater and rainwater tanks, and you bathe in this water. Okay, I'm feeling very clean, something very about the water. It needs to be clean water. There could be a creek or a river or a waterfall on your property or on your land, okay? Or you could be near a lake, close to the stillness of a lake, or close to the raging energies of a big river or something. Because I just feel like there's something here about water with the forest energy, or the jungle. Could be jungle if you're more tropical. Okay, it's like water within that. Rainwater, of course. Rain is, a given. But I feel like this could be very, very spiritual site on earth that you feel drawn to. Like maybe there's, a very special lake nearby that's very spiritual and has a lot of has a lot of fairies. Like I feel like there's going to be some kind of mystical beings on this property. You're going to meet interdimensional beings on this property and get to know different guardians and spirits of the land. Yeah, you're meant to feel very spiritually in tune. Like this card kind of is talking about intuition or divination, this is the kind of energies I'm feeling in your next home. Like you need to be surrounded by nature. I'm feeling a very private energy. Like even if you do have a couple neighbors, you're meant to have your home very private, like surrounded by trees or something like this in a certain location on top of a hill so that other people can't see it, other people aren't observing you. Because this is going to be really powerful for you with your psychic abilities, your spiritual gifts. I'm feeling like this is the place where you're going to really bloom intuitively, psychically, and that you're going to have a lot of, like I said, interdimensional visitors and like different, like literally knowing like, oh, these are the fairies that live at the bottom of my garden. Or, this is the Sasquatch being that visits me and takes my watermelons or something. Like you're going to have some kind of epic energy like that where you're going to have friends from different dimensions. Or you might also have friends, like actual animal friends, like wallabies or, obviously in Australia, wallabies or kangaroos or something around at your back door. And you can, sort of almost form a relationship with them, or native birds or something come visit in your garden. Yeah, and maybe you're meant to as well set up almost a sanctuary here for these animals is what I'm feeling as well. Like you're meant to maybe, put a bird bath out for the native animals, or I don't know, provide some kind of a safety, a refuge, or something that helps them, providing water on a hot day, something like this. Yeah, you're meant to kind of be a bit of a guardian of the animals in the land that you live, but as well a guardian of their interdimensional beings as well. Like you're going to have some kind of relationship with them. You're going to be some kind of an earth link, a link to this earth dimension for them. And I think they're going to be quite curious about your life on earth just as much as you're curious about their life interdimensionally, kind of within the earth. You're going to be like, what's it like? And I feel like they're going to show you within, your third eye, they're going to kind of show you. I feel like you're meant to, part of your life, part of your soul's purpose is to have relationships interdimensionally and to make this bridge between these two worlds, to bridge those two worlds together so that it's not so separate, because it never really was meant to be separate. It's not inherently like how it's meant to be. I feel like it's become this way where there's this separation between these interdimensional beings like fairies and things like this with the earth dwellers. And it's like, what's going on down here? It's so weird. So yeah, there's something here where you're meant to really elevate that energy and live. You could have a really, really sort of magical garden, a magical space where someone would walk into your garden, they feel like they enter into a magical sanctuary where the energy, like you might have, like I feel like it's meant to be private or secret, like a secret garden. Yeah, there's something here about if you have a secret garden, you can do magic there because other people aren't looking. There's something really powerful about this, okay, you guys? Or maybe you're meant to have children and they're going to really like have relationships with the fairies or something and want to like leave things out for them and it's very real for them and you're going to totally be a part of that. There's something really special about this place that you're meant to go to, okay? For some of you, this might be something that is a big dream for you. And as I'm describing it, you're like, yes, this sounds like my home. This sounds like my dream home, what I've been always wanting. And it's like, this is what you will experience, okay? The fourth house, like it's your destiny as well, Jupiter. You will be blessed, okay? You'll be blessed in terms of home in this lifetime and feeling like you are home, feeling like you have come home to yourself, come home in terms of the place that you're at, the people that you're around. Yeah, you're meant to really find home and a sense of safety, comfort, nurturing as well with that Cancer energy. Especially I feel like for this group in particular, out of all of the groups, my gosh, my heart space just extends to you so much because I can feel that you may not have felt home in your life. You may not have felt a strong sense of home from the beginning, or you may have even experienced homelessness or something like this, something really, really quite more extreme to do with themes of home or belonging or family or things like this. Yeah, so it is totally in your destiny to have a very lucky break, to have a very abundant home that is exactly your dream. And it's meant to be private, okay? It's meant to be private because it will enhance the magic that is being able to be done here on this land, on this location. It will enhance that magic if it is private. If there is not so much, you don't want a neighbor peering over their fence and spying on you and looking at you doing some kind of lie language or something. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like you want to go into your own little dimension and be there because, yeah, it does feel like it's almost going to be a different dimension when you go in there. You're going to feel almost like, am I in the fifth dimension now? Because there's something different about the energy that you're going to cultivate on this site, in this home, that people will feel it's very, very different. You might even have very, very supernatural things like the postman cannot find your house. They'll be like, I have no idea where it is. And it's like, oh, wow, maybe I made those protection spells a bit too strong. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something like this where I feel like you're going to have some kind of supernatural events, or you're going to find some kind of portal literally to Narnia on your side, or you're going to have, actual visitations from different interdimensional beings and have actual conversations like you are talking to someone in real life. Like, I'm talking about real life magic occurring in this place on this earth, and you are being taken to this place. Like, you're meant to be residing at this place. Like, I feel like it's a forever home, meaning you're meant to really put down roots as well. I feel like that's something that spirit wants you to know about yourself, is because I feel like you are, out of all the groups, have experienced more instability in the theme of home. Maybe you've had to be quite, on the move a lot, or you've had to move around a lot, or like I said, you've been searching for something. And this place that you find, this home that you find, or this land that you buy, or something like this community that you start, whatever it looks like for you, it's going to feel like home, and it's not going to be a place you want to leave, and it's going to be somewhere you want to put down roots. And this is what you need, okay? I feel like a lot of you are maybe used to traveling, or you're used to moving around a lot, but you really need stability, and you really need to put down your roots. That's what's going to make you the happiest, is to have a really stable existence at this time. And to have, things that really ground you, like having a dog, or having, a garden where you grow your own food, or you grow your own herbs, or something like this that makes you feel really grounded and really aligned. Yeah, I feel like this is what you need. And Spirit kind of wants you to know this, because some of you may still be a bit confused because you've experienced more, severe things to do with the theme of home. So you might be thinking, well, am I meant to go over here? Am I meant to do this? I don't know. Should I keep traveling? Should I do this? And Spirit's saying what you really need is a forever home, okay? You might even really resonate with rescuing a puppy or an animal of some kind, even an older dog or something, to give them that sense of forever hope, because I feel like it would actually kind of heal something in you to do a rescue, to heal a rescue animal or something like this. That's just a little note for some of you. Yeah, so the actual environment that I feel you're most drawn to is a forest, but it needs to have an element of water to balance it out, okay? Because otherwise I'm feeling like it's just going to be too much earth energy, and you need that water. Okay, especially you, for some reason, you need that water. We've got Cancer here. So yeah, it has to have a water element to it. Even a dam on the property, or, a well, or rainwater tanks right near your house where you get all your water right off the land. Even that could be enough. But for many of you, I feel like you will be close to a waterfall, a river, a lake, a creek, a stream. There is something about the energy of this place that feels so secluded, secret, peaceful, still. There's a stillness or a silence here as well. And it's going to feel like your little piece of heaven on earth, where you are completely safe. And in a way, you are more cut off from the matrix, the matrix life, the grid, the 9 to 5, all that kind of life. I feel like you're meant to be quite cut off from it and almost forget that life exists. And if you sort of travel out of your sanctuary and go into the cities or drive into the shops or something, you might be like, get a bit of a culture shock where you remember, wait, this is where the earth's at again? Oh yeah, that's right. This is crazy. Because I feel like you're meant to be really kind of, like living in your own dimension, because you're going to get so much magical work done. And that's your mission. Like, your mission is kind of to be this dimensional bridge and to do a lot of work in those interdimensional sort of realms, but to bring it really, anchor it really down into this earth. Yeah, and you might have really, really supernatural things happen. Like, if you wanted to almost be invisible, you could be. Like I said, the postman can't find your property, or there's something about you're not on the map. Somehow you're like, there's something really, really special about this place, or about the work and the magic that you do at this place, okay? Really special. So yeah, you're very much going to be blessed in this lifetime with this. Spirit really wants you to know your forever home is out there. It's going to find you, okay? All right, group 3, that is the end of your reading. If you would like to check out more of my work, I would really recommend my Return to Belonging Root Chakra Light Language Healing for you. I really feel like it would be perfect for you, because you are searching for that forever home, that sense of grounding and your root. Feel like that tape would really help you align with that. So I'll link it down below. You can read more about it, see if it might be right for you. And I'll link my story as well, where you can check out all of my light language energy healing, see how they may be able to support you at this time. And yeah, I'm just sending you so much love and light. All right, take care. Hello, group number 4. So you chose innovation, which is Jupiter in Aquarius in the 11th house. Okay, so with the 11th house Aquarius energy, I feel like you are designed to maybe live in a more communal setting or with other people, like your own family, or maybe more of like an intentional community could actually really suit you. That's coming through quite strongly. Or more of like an innovative space, like an innovative, intentional community or a new earth kind of vibe somehow to your life. I feel like the climate for you is temperate, okay? That's the energy that I'm feeling is a temperate climate would really suit you. You can look up like where in the world is a temperate climate if you're not sure what that means. But yeah, I feel like temperate for you, and I'm seeing the different fruits that grow in that in that climate, such as grapes, vineyards. So you might want to live near vineyards. I feel like vineyards would really like maybe living on a vineyard for some reason. I'm seeing that, or maybe you will end up owning a vineyard for some reason. I'm seeing that really strongly. Vineyards, I'm seeing, cherries and different fruit trees like stone fruits, peaches, apricots, plums, apples, things like this. Yeah, something about growing your own food or growing food within a community or having some kind of community garden. I feel like that's also how you're designed. It would really like thrive in that kind of an environment. Yeah, something where like maybe multiple people are coming together to create something like a group project, or if many people come in together to buy land or something, and then, something like this, or building really a different kind of having very ecological home design, or, solar panels, things like this. I feel like that's really, designed for you. Something very much about your garden, though. I feel like the garden is really the key to your home, is like the garden around your home is like where I see you really is your happy place. I feel like you're meant to get into gardening in this life, okay? If you're not already a gardener, I feel like it would actually be one of the hobbies that would suit you the most, okay? I know this is like really you might be like, what? But I'm telling you, I feel like gardening would really suit you, okay? Because it's very, very rewarding to watch the things grow. I feel like there's something about this process, like you would love this lifestyle of having some kind of connection to the food that you eat, watching it grow around you, or watching your children like picking fruit before they eat it, There's something like really special about this. And it's very kind of utopian energy. I feel like, there's something about this Aquarius where you're meant to innovate, to live in a more utopian way. Even if this doesn't exist with what the system is offering the world or what the matrix is offering the world. Like you can create, you can innovate your own life or your own lifestyle, your own community, maybe your own education system. This might be an energy where you want to like homeschool your children or something, or come together where many families are homeschooling or something like this. Yeah, there's something very different about, very alternative, okay? You're meant to live a very alternative existence, a very alternative life, very alternative community, and be doing things in an alternative way to the status quo, to the system, to the matrix. Because if you try to live within that grind, I feel like you would, suffocate. I feel like you just can't do that. It's not how you're meant to be, So this is about realizing that maybe the happiest you're going to be is something like you could even, you don't have to necessarily live rural though for this group, because I feel like socializing is really important for you. So if you feel like you want to be somewhere more social, but for example, you could live, I don't know, in Melbourne, like in a city in Australia, just for example, you live in Melbourne, but have a backyard where you're growing all this food in there, right? Or you've got fruit trees, you've got a lemon tree, you've got all this stuff that's grounding you, and you've got, a really alternative school down the road, and you've got families around you that share your ethics. So yeah, this is very to do with social. So something about your social life where you live needs to be really on point. Maybe you need to live around people that share your views, because you might be very alternative. And then obviously someone who's very alternative, if you're living around, the normal kind of society, then they might think you're weird or odd, or they might even feel frightened by you or something like this. So yeah, you might have just a different lifestyle, or have always stood out, whether you liked it or not, or something like this. So it's something about you're meant to feel like you're not so weird. Like you're meant to feel like you're not an alien by finding your people. Once you find your people, you realize you're not so weird after all. You're just with the wrong crowd where everyone thought you were weird. But it's actually like how you see things is such an emerging consciousness that so many people share. And so many people see this vision for the way that the earth can be. Like we don't have to live in a way that destroys the earth, or we don't have to live in a way where we're so isolated that, our mental health gets ruined because we don't have community support anymore and things like this. I feel like these kinds of things, you can see this about modern society. You can see this about the modern life. And you're kind of like, I feel like you would want to innovate modern life. It's not like you want to let go of modern life completely and like throw it down the toilet and be like, let go of modern life because we've come like a long way. But I see that you want to do modern life in a way that actually meets your needs and like supports mental health, well-being, and also something about children. I feel like maybe a lot of you in this pile are like really concerned or, focused on the education of the future generations or something like this, like providing a new earth for the future generations. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, you could live in a temperate environment. You could live, off grid, or you could just live in the suburbs or somewhere around where you still have access to some kind of garden or even like a community garden initiative. As long as you have a sense of community and a sense of connection to the earth, even if you're living more, like I said, in the suburbs or around a lot of people, I feel like you would be happy. I feel like this is how you're designed. You need people quite a lot. So I feel like rural life could get to you. I feel like you would be much better living, if you are wanting to live rural, I feel like you would be a lot better living rural with other people, with a community, with, maybe several different families going to buy land together. Something like this, I feel like you would need that sense of support. Like, I feel like the way you're designed is sort of, you want to be able to run over to the neighbors and knock on their door and be like, hey, can I borrow a cup of flour or whatever? It's something like this where there's some kind of community connection where you can sort of be like, oh, are you able to, help me out with this thing? Because I feel like, yeah, there's something about you're not meant to isolate yourself, basically. You're meant to really focus on community, connections, and living the modern life, but in a way that really suits you. So I could see, for example, you could really want to live a very alternative life off grid, but then you still are like, I don't know, really connected to the internet. You work online and you have vlogs, you vlog your alternative lifestyle and you show you the homestead or whatever. That's sort of the fusion I'm seeing between the modern life and this alternative or more old school kind of life where we live more from the land. But I feel like you're meant to fuse them together, merge them together, where it's like you're not meant to let go of the modern completely. You're meant to come sort of bring that through you still in some kind of way. Because yeah, I see maybe your job would be something to do with technology in some way, or, maybe you would stay really connected to community through online. If you did live rurally, maybe you would stay connected online through community. And that would be enough because you would be posting every day about what you're doing and you would have all these people connecting in with it and something like this. Yeah, you really need connection, okay? It's how you're designed. You're not designed for a solitude kind of life. You're designed to really be activated and inspired by community, by groups, by teams, by thinking about things on more of a global scale as well, like a humanitarian scale, like how could we do things differently? How could we solve, issues with education? How could we solve, like, this is very problem solving kind of energy. Yeah, you might even want to invent solutions and create kind of also archetypes. I feel like, yeah, that's sort of the energy you're meant to do is like, you're almost meant to create an archetype for the new earth where you're like, hey, we could do things like this. And wherever you live, it's perfect. If you live off grid, you can show people online, this is the archetype of how we live. Or if you live in the suburbs and you got all these neighbors and they're like, you know what, maybe we should do a veggie garden in our backyard as well. Because they look over your fence and they see all these veggies growing or something like this. Yeah. Or you could be the initiative to start a community garden in your neighborhood and get all these kids on board who had never even seen where, peaches come from. And they're like, wow, I love seeing this peach tree. There's something like this. You're meant to really merge community, the modern life with aspects of the ancient world that we need, like for our soul. We need this. We can't become so divorced from nature that we lose our sense of well-being. And I feel like you are really good at helping us to remember that. I feel like that's something that you're designed for, is to live in a lifestyle. Like I said, you can have rooftop gardens in like New York City and things like this. Maybe you would be someone who would innovate and do some kind of invention like that. Yeah, it's giving me goosebumps actually, because it's really special energy. You're meant to bring this marriage of the modern and the old and the earthly and innovate and create some kind of really cool new way of living. Maybe you're meant to even create your own lifestyle as well. Maybe this isn't, and no example I've described is your life, because you're meant to create your own life and almost invent a new path for yourself, like a trailblazing path that no one else has ever even lived on before. So you have a lot more flexibility, I feel like, in where you would be able to live temperate, but, wherever you feel drawn. I feel like you could live in the cities, the suburbs, you could live off grid, you could live in an intentional community. I feel like you could make it happen wherever you are, as long as you had those elements. You need nature, you need growing food in some way, or being connected to that process in some way would really ground you. Like, I kept seeing fruit trees and community gardens and things like this, as well as some kind of connection to community. All right, that is the end of your reading, everyone. I'm sending you so much love and light. If you'd like to check out more of my work, I would really recommend my Sacred Space Clearing Light Language Tape. It's great for clearing the energy in your home, or if you travel and move around. I'll link it down below and you can read more about it, see if it might be right for you. I'm sending you so much love and light. All right, take care. Hello, group number 5. So you chose empathy, the moon in Pisces in the 12th house. Really interesting. So see how this person has a dog, okay? So for some of you, you might be meant to get a dog the next place you live, all right? Okay, that's just coming through for some of you. But I'm feeling like for you, the next place you live or where you're meant to live in the world is really more about people. It's really more about your social life at this time, at this phase in your life, or maybe this is just who you are and how you're designed, or it's about like the people that you can meet for your work. Like you might be drawn to living in like LA or London or something like this, some kind of big city, because it would be really good for your connections, for your career, for meeting the right people, being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, like, going out for a drink with your boss and then meeting their, old colleague who's connected to this person and then is like, oh, you're interested in this, let me introduce you to this person. And then they have a number and then you have an opportunity. And it's like all of that kind of little network, the grapevine. That is where you're meant to be because you are meant to be really focusing on career and social life right now, okay? So in terms of where, like your next home, I feel like it would be something more like an apartment in a city, or it would be a flat or somewhere kind of more small because I feel like you're not going to be there very much, okay? I feel like the whole point for you is that you want to be out the house. So your home, maybe the actual home that you live in, doesn't need to have as much. But for some of you, maybe you want to live more like in a townhouse or something like this, or just a home in like near a big city so you can have access to that city whenever you want to. I'm seeing for some of you, there may be the need to get a dog because it would really help your like social energy, your heart, your empathy. I feel like for some of you, maybe getting a pet would really balance out some kind of energy that you might be dealing with from the past. You might be going through some healing or just needing help to release something from the past, even past lives. Yeah, that just came through really strongly. Actually, for your group, I was jotting down some things before I even chose the cards for each group. So that already came through, get a pet. And then I saw the dog here as well. So yeah, a pet might be really important. But yeah, I see that social life is really important. The next house, you might be living more in like a share house or, like I said, in an apartment complex where there's a lot of different people around, or in a unit, or in some kind of a shared accommodation, student accommodation. Or you might be meant to move in with a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, or with a family member. You might be meant to move in with someone or to open up a spare room in your own home to have someone come in, because I just see at this time in your life, socializing is really good. Or you might want to get someone to rent the home, the floor downstairs or something. There's something like this, some kind of change. Maybe you're feeling you need this, or you're already there and Spirit's just confirming that you're in alignment, because yeah, socializing is what's really the key for you at this point in your life. Or like I said, for some of you, this is just who you are. You're always going to want to live, in a big city and have these opportunities right at your doorstep. Yeah, because I just see where you're meant to be at this time is more like out of the house. So you don't have to, I don't know, you might not even want to spend much time in your home. Or for example, you maybe don't get a garden or don't, like have heaps of plants that you have to care for because they might end up dying, or you might end up neglecting them because there could just be kind of this focus external. And I feel like a dog would be perfect for that because you can bring a dog a lot of places that you go, especially like New York and stuff is more, dog friendly these days, right? So I'm seeing something like this, like a dog could be good because they can come on adventures with you. But other than that, things that are left in the apartment might not be as good. I mean, I guess cats can be independent, but I just see you being out a lot, like most nights every week. You're out for dinner, or you're out for a drink, or you're out for some kind of late work meeting, or you've got a gig that you're playing, or you're going to see a gig, or you're seeing an art gallery, or you've got someone's event, or you got someone's birthday on, or you got a wedding, or you got this thing. You just got so much going on. You got a really booked and busy social calendar. And that's how you're meant to be. Okay, that's like the energy that I'm feeling is, yeah, that you're most designed for. So the other thing I'm getting with this is to choose your next place based on location. So if you're like, oh, I really want to be in this particular borough of New York, or I really want to be in this particular, suburb in this place, then really like zone in on the location that you want to be, because it's going to really support your lifestyle, right? If you're like located really close to all the places that you go, then I feel like there's something about that's going to really support your social life and you kind of like really mixing and getting out there. I just see Spirit saying like, get out that house, okay? Some of you, maybe you need a little nudge out the door, but for others of you, this is just who you are all the time. You're just always living this life. But I just feel like there's so many opportunities, especially for you so those of you who are more like in showbiz or in some kind of a business where you need to meet people to kind of progress or to have certain opportunities come up. Like you need to sort of I don't know the right person or have the right conversation at the right time. I just feel like Spirit's saying that if you've been feeling, oh, maybe I should move to this bigger city because there might be more opportunities and I'm feeling a bit, overlooked in my hometown or something, Spirit's saying, yes, move to that big city, do that big city leap, in your own time, like, do it in a way that feels good for you. But I just feel like, yes, there's something about this big city energy that's calling you, or it's already called you. And maybe you've already been living, like in LA for several years, working on your art or something. But yeah, there's something here about talent spotting or something as well, is what I'm getting. And meeting people that you were like, how on earth did I meet this? Like meeting celebrities or something like this that could really help your art. Okay, that's literally what I'm getting. Okay. So yeah, it would help your art a lot to, yeah, like locate yourself in this big city. And I just feel like maybe for some of you, you will feel the need to leave at a different phase in your life. Maybe if you want to like have kids, or you want to, slow down or something like that. Maybe you'll feel like you want to sort of move away from the big city. But I just feel like for the time being and for the foreseeable future, I just see you really, thriving in the city, especially around the people. Like you need people, the relationships that you have with the people around you is really close, or it will be, and it's meant to be. Yeah, you're meant to have like a really close, like sense of friendship that sort of is almost like a pseudo family in a way. So some of you might want to as well move somewhere that has a really cold winter. For some reason, I'm feeling like snow. I'm seeing snow. You might really thrive in a climate that actually has a very significant like snow season, winter. And I'm seeing, or very significant seasons. Kind of, you might enjoy the four distinct seasons, like the very cold winter and the hot summer as well. Or more of a climate that does get snowy. So kind of, Christmas for you is meant to be cold as well. So maybe Northern Hemisphere. All right, that's what I'm seeing is like Northern Hemisphere. Because for example, in Australia, Christmas is the middle of summer. But I'm seeing like the cold Christmas vibes. Yeah. So I'm feeling like those are the sort of temperatures that you would be good. For some reason, I'm seeing winter and cold for you. I just see that. I feel like you would really thrive, with the snow and that cozy kind of energy that comes from that. All right, group number 5, that is the end of your reading. I do hope that it served you. Got some messages in there. If you'd like to check out more of my work, I'll link my store down below. You can browse and see if any of my energy healings, light language healings might support you at this time. I would also really recommend my Sacred Space light language healing. It's really great for clearing the energy of your home or clearing different spaces if you are traveling around. Yeah, I'll link it down below. You can read more about it. And I'm just sending you so much love and light, okay? Take care. Hello, group 6, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the health card with the sun in Virgo in the 6th house. Group number 6, we have the 6. Interesting. So your group needs adventure. Okay, so you are like my miscellaneous group, my wild card group. Okay, this is the wild card group where I was like, I can't really fit you into any kind of category. You need your own group because this is the energy I'm feeling is that you need to change. You just need some kind of a change in your life. And I feel like for you, it's meant to be quite drastic. I feel like there comes a time in life where maybe you just need something like this. So I feel like this could be moving overseas. You could be really needing or feeling drawn to some kind of a huge change, like a huge lifestyle change or a really big relocation, like moving overseas, moving across the country, moving to a different climate, a different kind of, having to get used to a different kind of way of life, maybe a different culture. This could also be a really big lifestyle change, like choosing to go travel and backpacking or choosing to go through hiking for several months or choosing to do a van life experience. Something like this, I'm feeling like a travel lifestyle could really support you or a digital nomad lifestyle, okay? Really, really good. I feel like if you can have a location independent job, travel, movement, constantly like moving around is really, I feel like where your soul wants to be. I feel like you really need this, we need different things at different parts in our life, but maybe this is also just kind of how you're designed a little bit. You need a lot of movement, a lot of change, a lot of different stimulation, maybe meeting fresh people, seeing fresh faces, going to places you've never been before, having that sense of adventure. The other thing that I'm feeling is that with the lifestyle change, it could just be that you're meant to really do something different, like a very alternative solution to housing, such as a tiny house or a yurt or like some kind of a self build. Maybe you're meant to build your own home, for example. Yeah, I feel like you're meant to go somewhere new somewhere that you've never been before. I feel like this group really needs the new. You need to have a new experience in life. You need that sense of adventure. This could easily be travel, like I said, relocation. So travel or relocation, I feel like is what your soul is desiring. And I feel like you can really listen. Maybe you want to go to multiple places, or you can listen to where your soul is desiring, because I don't feel a specific location. I don't feel a specific location. I feel like it's more of a lifestyle. It's more of what it does for you. Like, you could have a tiny home almost anywhere in the world and still be really happy. There's something like this because it's the lifestyle that you want. Or you could be a van life in Europe, or you could do van life in the USA, or you could do van life in Australia, and you would be very happy. You know what I mean? There's different kind of, I'm not feeling a specific location. I'm feeling like it's more about what you're doing there, like how you're living life. So yeah, some kind of an alternative solution to housing as well, I feel like is part of your destiny. Like, maybe you're not meant to get the usual mortgage and that makes you feel suffocated, or, like you could just be like, no, I am not doing that. Something like this, I feel like your group would be like, I don't want a mortgage. I want that. I don't want to have that thing like hanging over me. I feel like you're meant to do something very alternative. You know how like tiny houses, you can sort of, it's a much more affordable kind of approach to having a home, or co-owning things is the other thing, with sort of some kind of a community, like maybe buying land with other people. And I don't know, maybe if you're in the right climate, you could have a yacht on the land instead of an actual house, or you could choose to live in a caravan or in a van or something like this. It feels very alternative. It feels very free. You need to be free. I just feel like you're not meant to be tied down at this time. Some of you may even feel like you don't even want to sign a lease, or you don't want to sign anything, don't want to sign a contract. I feel like, yes. I feel like if that's how you're feeling, then yes, you need the call to adventure. Some of you maybe need to do this for your health, okay? Because you chose the health card. This is mental health as well. But for some of you, I'm even seeing physical health. Like, you need to get out of a certain place that you're at, because it might actually be impacting your physical health, or the amount that you can heal where you currently are. Maybe you need to go to a warmer climate because it's going to help with, like, I don't know, you know how it helps with like arthritis or something. Like, I'm just seeing something like this. It could be good for your health. You may be being called to, yeah, do something quite big, and it may even feel a little bit scary. There may be a part of you that still feels a bit afraid because it will be so new, it will be something so different. But I feel like this leap of faith, like you're being kind of, there's a grand trine I'm seeing of timing, like some kind of a big blessing coming in. I don't know why I saw grand trine, like three different elements coming together to bless this move or this change or this lifestyle shift. Yeah, this lifestyle change would be really good for your health. Like doing van life, for example, would be really good for your health for some reason. Maybe because it's just how you're designed right now, or in general, maybe it's how you're designed. I just keep seeing the heaviness of like a mortgage and how you're just not meant to do that. So you're meant to really find some kind of an alternative to life, to living, something that really suits your needs, and that maybe honors the fact that you want to see a lot of the world. You want to be moving around and traveling, and yeah, maybe having many different places that you call your home. That's the other thing. I feel like maybe this group, you could find home anywhere you are. You have a very deep sense of home maybe inside of yourself. So it's not so much that you need it to be at a certain place. Yeah, I feel like as well, you have a really good ability to connect wherever you go. So I feel like you would thrive really anywhere. I feel like the main focus of this reading, though, is for spirit to say that you need this lifestyle change, especially if you've been weighing it up and you're still living in some kind of a conventional heaviness. If any aspect of your life was really heavy or oppressive, I feel like you're meant to change that. You're meant to cultivate some level of freedom in your lifestyle, because it will really, really, really improve your health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, all of it, your emotional health, all of it will be improved. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just seeing something like van life or a tiny house, or you're meant to move overseas, or you're meant to do digital nomad, or, travel around Southeast Asia and India for a year, or like do something really different. Like, it's really, really different. It's really different. And it feels like living, though. It feels like, oh, I'm actually living. I know that I'm living, you're really being called to the adventure. With the Virgo, this could also be something like you feel really drawn to build your own home. You feel really drawn to do some kind of a project to do with your next home. You want to build your own tiny house, or you want to build your own mud brick home, or you want to build your own garden or permaculture or something like this. Yeah, I'm seeing something to do with hands-on and building. That's really, really favorite here as well. Your next home or your next living situation is going to make you feel like you are living your life. You're like, I'm living life, you know, and you want to not feel like you are oppressed or like caged in or boxed in or tied down to a certain contract or something like this that doesn't make you feel right, like a lease or a mortgage. It's going to give you some different sense of freedom. And it's a new experience. I mean, for some of you, this could just be owning your own house for the first time. But I feel like there's going to be some way in which you acquire it that will be slightly different. Yeah, so I feel like Spirit's really using this reading to come through to say that the change is needed. You need this change for your health. You need it for your health or for your healing, or to get to a certain level of health or healing or well-being. And that this next change is going to make you feel like you're living, you're living an adventure, but you're living life, like you're living all of life, not feeling like you're held back, or that you're not really living life, or you're not really implementing your dreams. You know, it's kind of like if you've always dreamt to do van life, but you've never done it. You've always dreamt to travel to a certain place and now you're doing it. Or you've always dreamt to build your own home and now you're actually building it. It's like the dream is turning into something real and tangible and real. And it's going to really improve your health having this happen. It's going to really improve, especially in getting like your nervous system health, your mental health, your mind. It's going to make you feel a lot more alive, where what you are desiring is also winding up in the reality around you and you're achieving what you desire. You're achieving your dreams. Your dreams are actually coming true. All right, group 6, that is the messages that I received for you for this reading. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you'd like to check out more of my work, I would really recommend my Sacred Space Clearing Tape. It's a really great take for traveling and with all this new energy coming into your life. I feel like it could really support you at this time. So I'll link it down below. You can read more about it, see if it might be right for you. And I'll link my store as well down below. You can browse my light language energy healing, see if any of those might support you at this time. Thanks so much for supporting my work, and I'm sending you so much love and light.